Here again with another Breaking Bad related video. As most of you know, I just recently finished rewatching all of Breaking Bad, and I finished rewatching all of El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and I'm going to be ranking all of those seasons of Breaking Bad, including El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, in my usual ranking video. Different from previous rankings, I'm actually going to split Breaking Bad Season 5 into two different halves. Season 5A and Season 5B. Reason being, well, there was a big gap in between the seasons, almost a year, and they're actually sold separately. So I felt that would be interesting to do. Ultimately, it does not change the placement of Season 5, but I felt like that would be something interesting to do that I haven't done before, and I don't believe I've included El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, in any Breaking Bad ranking video. So what I'll do at the end of this video, over there, maybe over there, or over there, I'll put the link to my last Breaking Bad ranking video. And also, I'm going to let you guys in on something. I've already covered Better Call Saul Season 6. But I'll be starting from the beginning and reviewing every single episode until the end of Better Call Saul. Probably won't start that until July-ish, maybe late June, so look for that. As soon as my Lucifer content is over with on the channel, at least for the time being, I will start Better Call Saul. So we get a little bit of a break. Right now, I actually have videos all the way out through a very long time on the channel. So when I record these videos, it's almost a month later before they debut. So sometime around July, I will be starting Better Call Saul over again and reviewing every single season of Better Call Saul, including Season 6, which I've already done, but I'll put the link to Season 6, the playlist, at the end of this video. And after I'm done with my ranking, make sure you leave your ranking in the comment section of where you think your placement of everything in the Breaking Bad El Camino universe is. You don't necessarily have to split Season 5 up like I did. I just thought that would be interesting to do, so that's why I'm doing it that way. But like I said, it ultimately didn't change the placement of Season 5, but there is a change from my last ranking. So before I get into my ranking, pretty important, if you haven't watched every single episode of Breaking Bad or El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, then I highly suggest that you don't watch this video any further to avoid every single spoiler that I'm going to be talking about. It's going to be a lot. So, let's kick things off. Coming in 7th place is going to be, actually, before I say this, it's very important to know, these are all really, really good. So, when I'm ranking these, there's nothing that's really bad. I'm just picking the worst of all these great seasons or movies of a TV show. So, coming in 7th place, unfortunately, has to be El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. This is the Best Buy Steelbook of El Camino. It's the only way I could get it. I don't like these Steelbooks, to be honest with you. They fingerprint easily, but this is really good. I wasn't really asking for El Camino, the follow-up to Breaking Bad, but I'm glad we got it. We got some closure with the Jesse Pinkman character. My problem with this, I have some gripes. It's like a glorified cameo fest, and I think this would have been better suited as a limited TV series. So you could flesh out things a little bit longer, you could have more time with Badger and Skinny Pete, and you might be able to have more to do with the authorities in this. Because when I saw the trailer to this movie, I thought it was going to be like an epic, state-to-state manhunt for this Jesse Pinkman character. And that's not what we got. We got a lot of flashback scenes and a lot of cameos and the really weak villain in Neil Candy. That's what we got. But we got Walter White. We got Mike Ehrmantraut. We got Jane. We got Jesse's parents. We got Badger. We got Skinny Pete. We got Ed the Disappearer. We got Todd. We got Kenny. And we got Raimi. And I don't think I'm forgetting anybody else, but I probably am. But it was good. I'm glad that Jesse, for the most part, he's at peace with himself at the end of Breaking Bad. El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, but I feel like they could always go back to it. Maybe Kim Wexler wants to go after Jesse Pinkman. I don't know. I feel like there's more that they could do if they really want to do it. If they really want to stretch this franchise, or it's not really a franchise, but this you know what I mean. El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, comes in 7th place. In sixth place for me, again, these are all really great. I just have to pick the ones that I like the least, is going to be the OG, Breaking Bad Season 1. This is a great start to a great series. You have an overqualified high school chemistry teacher that starts cooking meth because he wants to provide for his family, because his brother-in-law is a DEA agent, and say, why don't you come on a ride-along? You might, have something interesting in your life. And Walt does it, and then sees one of his former students there, and yeah, it's all that from there. You get introduced to Tuco Salamanca in this season, and Walt kind of blows up his, not completely blows up, but blows up his building, and that pisses Tuco off. I feel like this season kind of ended suddenly. It's like the first 2 episodes of season 2 should have been the last 2 episodes of this season, but I've been talking for a while. I've been deleting videos and restarting them because I mess up, but yeah, that's why I'm going to be drinking a little bit of water more than I usually do in this video. But Breaking Bad Season 1 is my number 6. Coming in 5th place for me is going to be Breaking Bad Season 3. Now, this one used to be higher on my previous rankings, and I think Season 3 is an awesome season. It's the start of Walt and Jesse cooking at Gus's lab, his meth lab underneath the laundromat. It's a great season. It's got some great episodes. I just feel like it's more of a setup for Season 4. That's my opinion. Obviously, my favorite part of the season is the whole 1-minute episode with Hank. The Salamanca cousins are going to take Hank Schrader out, and Gus gives him a warning because he wants all the people that are a threat to him to be taken out. They want each other to take them out. And that was really awesome. You get introduced to the character of Gale Boetticher in this season, which he was great. Probably a better lab partner than Jesse for Walt. Somebody that's like-minded like Walter White, that can think like Walter White does. But in the end, Jesse Pinkman actually shoots and kills Gale Boetticher because Walter White's life is in danger by Mike. So we get some great stuff in this season. It's just feel like it's more of a setup for Season 4, and that's why I put it lower on the list at number 5. Coming in 4th place for me is going to be Breaking Bad Season 2. This used to be lower on my list, but this actually has some good stuff. We wrap up the stuff with Tuco Salamanca in that season. We have, Walt's dealing with having to tell Skyler what he does. We have Jesse moving in next door to this chick named Jane. We have Jane being a threat, or at least appearing to be a threat for Walt. And then Jesse and Jane start using a lot. And Walt has to get this delivery of all these drugs to potentially work for this guy named Gus Fring. And he will... Unfortunately, he has to wake Jesse up, and Jesse doesn't respond, or he kind of responds. But in the process, he pushes Jane over, and Jane starts convulsing, choking on her own puke. And Walt could have saved her, but he lets Jane die. And that was, I think, the part, in my opinion, that Walter White officially broke bad. Be interested to hear what your thoughts are in the comments section. But an awesome season. Sad moment for Jane's dad, Donald Margolis, to have to deal with the fact that his daughters died. And then Jesse's freaked out by it. We get introduced to the character of Mike, which is awesome. And he shows up to clean the place and telling Jesse, "That's all I know." I can't remember the exact quote, but that's all I know. Cover up those track marks. Put on a long sleeve shirt. Just phenomenal season of Breaking Bad. I feel like more happened just in that season. Of course, we get introduced to Saul Goodman in that season as well. So that's why Breaking Bad Season 2 is going to be my number 4. Coming in 3rd place for me is going to be Breaking Bad Season 5A. Season 5A. Really good season. Now that Gus Fring is dead and out of the picture, they're worried about the security camera that was in Gus's meth lab, so they want to take out Gus's laptop. It's in a police facility, so they use magnets with the help of old Joe to destroy the laptop. But ultimately, the laptop didn't need to be destroyed, but it did. And then you have the threat of Gus, Mike, and Jesse having to keep working because people are supposed to be getting paid that are detained by the authorities right now. So they start back up again, but then they're running out of methylamine. So they are in contact with Lydia, and Lydia says, well, there's a train full of meth, and they actually take the meth off the train and replace it with water in a great episode, Dead Freight. One of my favorite episodes, with the help of Todd, Kubi, and it was just great. Everybody working together. Unfortunately, at the end of this episode, Todd decides that he wants to kill Drew Sharp because it's a kid, and he might have saw what they did. I don't know when Todd or Drew Sharp actually pulled up, but he might not have even saw anything. And then Jesse wants out, Mike wants out, but Walt, he's in the Empire business. He wants to continue cooking, and he doesn't want to give up his share. So eventually Declan gets involved, and he gives money to Walt, and that takes care of that. And then you have Mike won't give up the names of the people that that are being paid. Mike said he'll take care of his guys. Well, Walt wants to know those names because they have incriminating information on Walter White. So Walt, since he won't give them to him, Walt actually shoots Mike, and eventually Mike dies a few minutes later. Let me die in peace. Unfortunately, and then you have in the finale, at least of this half, you have, Walt's out of the business. He cooks some cooks with Todd, and they're selling to Germany, and they're out the Czech Republic, and Walt's out of the business. I'm done. He sees this big, towering stack of money. Like, how much is this? Skylar's like, I don't know. I don't even count it anymore. I just spray it. And Walt's done. So the family's kind of at peace now again. Everything seems back to normal. Hank and Marie are over, and Hank's got to use the shitter. And he grabs a book that's, that's to read while he's taking a shit. It's a Walt Whitman book, and then he sees the inside of the book that says to WW, and then Hank remembers Gail Bedecker. And that opens up the last half of Breaking Bad. But what a season of Breaking Bad, especially to end on that cliffhanger, that's the first episode of Breaking Bad that I ever watched live. So that was quite the treat. So that's why Breaking Bad Season 5A is my number 3. Coming in second place for me is going to be Breaking Bad Season 5B. This is the last half of Breaking Bad, the end of Breaking Bad. It says the final season on there, but actually it's only one half of the final season. They're sold separately, the two seasons, but this is an awesome season of Breaking Bad, or awesome half of Breaking Bad. Walt's out of the game now. Hank knows what Walt is. Hank punches Walt. Walt tells Hank to tread lightly. They make this confession tape to implicate Hank being the mastermind, the Eisenberg behind all this. So Hank teams up with Jesse Pinkman to, combat Walter White. And then Walt, because of, Jesse not cooperating with him and Jesse not meeting with him when he wanted to, Jesse decides that it's just best to take out, or Walt decides that it's just best to take out Jesse because that's what it is. And then Jesse gets a text, or Walt gets a text, I believe it was from Jesse, right? I believe so, about his money. He's burning his money, and that freaks Walt out. So he goes to the location of where his money is because he had hid it once Hank knew what he did for a living. And it's actually Hank's behind all this. Walter White is arrested, but Walt had talked to Jack previously. He gave them Jack coordinates, and Jack and his goons come. And then Jack and his goons have a shootout with Hank and Steve Gomez. At the end of all that, Steve Gomez is dead. We start Ozymandias with Hank killing, or I should say Jack killing Hank Schrader. Walt's distraught. He wants Jesse killed, Pinkman. So they take Jesse Pinkman. They're about to off him. And then Walt's like, wait. Or actually, first Jack's, Todd's like, well, we could use him to cook and, make Lydia happy. So that's fine. Walt's like, okay, that's fine. I know you're going to kill him anyway, so that's fine. But before Jesse leaves, Walt goes up to Jesse. I watched Jane die. I could have saved her. Deep stuff. And then you have Walt going back home. His family wondering why the hell he's home. Maurice said that Hank had you dead to rights. And Walt's like, I don't have time to talk about that. Let's just pack and go. We can live a happy life. And Skylar's done with Walt's shit. She has a knife. They have a little bit of a struggle. Walt gets his hand cut. Walt and Skylar kind of wrestle around on the floor. Junior kind of tackles Walt a bit and then kind of sits in front of his mom like, no, you're not coming towards her anymore. Walt takes Holly, calls Skylar a stupid bitch when he calls the house. Many things were said. What do you even know what I do? My operation, you stupid bitch. Great stuff there in Ozymandias. And then you have Granite State, the second to last episode of the series, where Walt's done with this. He's just going to go away. He has Ed the Disappearer take him to New Hampshire, and Walt lives there. He's dying still, but then he wants to get some money to his family. So he takes a box, puts as much money as he can fit in there, and then goes to this local tavern, the closest place that he has next to him, or nearest to him. And Walt calls, or has somebody call the school to talk to Walter Jr. Walt gets in line, and Junior just, you killed Uncle Haight. Why won't you die? You should be dead by now. And it's just depressing. But after that conversation, Walt had actually said that, he left his little, they know where he is. They can trace the call. But then Walt's watching TV and sees Gretchen Elliott Schwartz. And they take credit for everything that gray matter was, aside from the name. And that makes Walt mad. So Walt goes to Gretchen and Elliott Schwartz and tells them that you're going to give this money to my family. You're going to do it because they'll believe it's from you because you're known for your charities. And if you don't, I have some snipers that'll take you out. It might not be right away, but they'll be watching. And then Walt has this contraption that he puts together with an M60, goes to Jack's place, Jack's crew's place, takes out all of Jack's men, saves Jesse Pinkman because he realizes that Jesse's just being forced to cook for them. And then Walt wants Jesse to kill him. And Jesse's like, say you want it. I want this. Then do it yourself. And then Walt talks to Lydia and says that he gave her ricin because you like that stevia shit. And then he's wounded. He's about to die. He goes in the lab that Jax has and Jesse was cooking. He sees all the glorious stuff in there. He picks up the gas mask. He puts his hand on a cylinder and then just falls over and dies. And that's the end of Breaking Bad. But what a finale. What a final 8 episodes. So Breaking Bad Season 5B is definitely my number 2. But unfortunately, it is not number 1. Water break time. Because my favorite, which I haven't talked about yet, is Breaking Bad Season 4. I love this season. It's the whole, Gail Bedecker died at the end of Season 3. Gus Fring is pissed. You have an episode starting the season of Box Cutter where all Gus says, get back to work, or wait, or what is he? Something he says first and then get back to work. He kills Victor, and then you have, Walt and Jesse, and there's normal shenanigans. You have Jesse all of a sudden going on ride-alongs with Mike. You have Walt mad and Jesse mad about these kids dying. And Tomas got killed by Gus's guys. You have Gus Fring all of a sudden being pointed, after that, making it look like he's the good guy in the Salute, an awesome episode of Breaking Bad. And then Walt wants to get away, but Skylar spent all their money on Ted Bedecky's taxes. And then, of course, you have the finale of this season. I'm not going into details about this season because it's just a lot to talk about. But, Gus got wounded. Mike got wounded. Jesse saved them. And now Walt is going to take out Gus Fring. And he actually poisons Brock with Lily of the Valley to make it look like he took ricin because of Jesse's irresponsibility. And at the end, Gus gets his face blown off. And then Walter White wins. And then tells Skylar, I won. And then him and Jesse embrace. I think that actually happened before that. Just a great season. The whole culmination of almost a 2-season thing of Breaking Bad ends with this finale face-off that I absolutely love. And that's why Season 4 of Breaking Bad is my number 1. Wow, I've actually been doing this video a long time. I started it, got like 20 minutes into it, and I'd been rambling on and on and on. So I actually stopped recording and started over just because. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments section. Yeah, it's awesome stuff. Remember, I'll be covering Better Call Saul. I'll start that around July, maybe sooner. Right now, I'm recording this video on March 12th, and this video is going to be uploaded for April 7th or 8th, 9th, something like that. So I'm way ahead on videos. So sometime around July, maybe sooner, once I'm done with my Lucifer review videos. But you can check out my reviews of Better Call Saul Season 6 when it was airing, and I'll put that in the end credits here, or the end screen, which is coming up here. You've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Breaking Bad, El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button. Otherwise, I'll send Mike Ehrmantraut after you. Share this video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this review episode, this ranking of Breaking Bad. Let me know what you think. Interact with me, of course, and the legendary Crazy Coffee Man. And last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel you're watching the video anyway. Click right here for my Better Call Saul review videos for Season 6. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.